Alright guys, this is basically another one of the videos of basically, I don't know really what the hell I'm doing, it's just experimentation. So, what we're going to try is shooting these 177 BBs out of a percussion cap Lyman Trades rifle. Now, normally this would work out of any kind of musket, no problem. However, this is a rifled barrel, and I want to see if it works. So I've got a little method of how I'm going to do this, and I think it'll work. So if you just stand by and watch, I will show you how I can get some of these guys down range out of one of these, with a little bit of accuracy as well. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be loading this thing with powder. We're going to go 100 grains just for that extra oomph. And we're going to go a single wad. We're going to make it so it's a cup before we fill it up with BBs. Fill it up with the BBs inside, and then we're going to close it up and push it down. And that makes a good closed compression and wad, so you get your expansion behind it, and it will push those BBs out with that wad. And once it escapes out the muzzle, it'll come out as basically a scatter shot and work just like a shotgun. Now this rifle is rifled. So, of course that shot's going to be in a spiral pattern, so you want your BBs, because they're hard steel with a little copper coating, to be fully in that wad, so that wad follows your rifling and acts as your expansion between the rifling and the grooves. Because those BBs, if they're just sitting there alone, they're going to basically not have any compression, first of all, but also they're going to scar up your rifling to shit. So you want to make sure the BBs are wrapped inside that compression, or the wad. So we're going to go straight into loading this guy. So what I do is, I've got right here my powder dispenser and powder scale, and we're just going to keep pushing it until we get a full charge of 100. Now I was at 80 there. That would have been enough, but I think 100 is perfect. If you're going 120, I find you almost burn a little bit more powder than necessary, so I find 100 works great for this application. And 100 grains is going to be probably a bit more than your shotgun for a 12 gauge, if you're just shooting the light load bird shot. So, there you go. So now I'm going to get another cut. I just put the powder in. As you noticed, I weighed out 100 grains and put it in. Next thing is you put your wad on there, but because of camera sake, I'm going to get this so it is in a way that you guys can see. So I got my ball starter, which is actually broken my long push rod. I got my short one. It's really all I need for this anyway. And I got it started. So we just center the wad on there, and you push that in. And actually it's not that centered, so I'm just going to move it over a bit more and try and center it. Because, yeah. So there. Now I pull out my ramrod and push it just a tiny bit more. You want a little flower at the end here, as you can see. And what I'm going to do with that flower is make a funnel by spreading it open. So it almost looks like a little hoo-hoo. Okay. So, now's when we want to put the BBs in there. So we're going to load as many BBs as we can get. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now you can always measure it by weight too. It's 11, 12, 13. It doesn't matter if these guys are dirty or not. They're not actually making contact with your barrel. That's 16, 19. Try and go for an even 20. Whoops, 19, 20. One of those BBs came out with my finger. Now why not? Why not go with 22 shot? Yeah. Well, oh no, I can get one more BB in there at least. There's 23. See if we can get 24 in there. Okay, 24 looks like as many as I'm going to get in there with this load. So as you can see, it's got a little bit of wadding around. You want to close that over your BBs. And that's just going to keep it closed until it gets out of the muzzle. Once it gets out of the muzzle, it'll definitely open up. So don't worry about that. So there you go. So, step back now. So we'll take our ball starter once again, and we're going to push those BBs now that we've basically got them in the muzzle. We're just going to push them in so they're inside. Now, you definitely do not want to shoot it now. You'll might possibly blow out your barrel, but otherwise your BBs, if they do come out, they're not going to display very well. You got to get this in all the way. Nice thing about BBs is if you've been shooting all day, you'll notice that your balls are a lot harder to get down there. The BBs are a lot easier than the balls as far as the 50 cal. So, and that definitely is in. So we've got, I think 24 balls in there. And now we're going to go shoot at a target. So, I have to go grab a target and we'll put it up and see how it works. Alright. So basically what I'm shooting at is this can right here. Now I've been doing a lot of shooting on this door, so pay no attention to that. It's the butane can or propane can that we're going for. It's actually a propane can. So, I guess I'm going to do a close-in range. Actually, no. I'll do a long-range shot first. You'll probably see more effect if I shoot it. Okay. First shot will be here, and then second shot, you'll get an over-shoulder view. I apologize, I will not be able to do this shot at the same time, but I might be able to replicate it. I may have a second can. So, first shot, we will do a zoom-in shot of this can exploding. Okay. So I don't have this fully planned, it's just sort of a spur-of-the-moment video. But, however, I hope it's entertaining. So this is BB's shooting out at 100 grains. He knocked it over. So let's go see the damage. And we'll do one more shot. I might have to grab another can for this, but let's see what we got here. So we're shooting about close to 25 yards. So out of 22 shots, it looks like we got 3 hidden. So we got one there, one there, one there, but no penetration. This can's still got stuff in it. So I'm going to get in a little bit closer, maybe do a little bit heavier grain. I'll go 120 just for this, and we're going to hit this can one more time. Alright, well, we grazed the can, we put some dents in it, but we didn't get quite penetration. So, we're going to move this over to 120 grain. That's almost maximum. And I guarantee you, if I miss this one, I'm going to go with a 50 caliber ball on it, and we will get penetration. But let's see what happens with this. So that's 120 grain. This is going to be loud. Put the patch here. Ball starter. Make our little cup to hold our shot. And now we'll go for our BBs, which are right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, We'll go an even 20 for this one. That way it's more oomph, less shot, but I mean, all I have to get is one in there, and it will definitely penetrate. Hopefully. If it doesn't, well, that's what we got the 50 cal ball for. So, ram that all the way down there. I've been shooting a bit today, so we're a little sticky. Ow. Alright. I think that's in there. Yeah. We're definitely packed. Because there's so many BBs, it sits a little higher than the shot ball. But we're definitely in. Alright, so we are going to aim in on that. Alright. We'll get a little closer too, so we get some more oomph. I don't know. This might be good. We got penetration. So. Alright. So it went right through. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 and 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 right through. These are the 3 that missed, or didn't miss, but wasn't enough power to get in. And these ones went clean right through with 120 grain. So, yeah, it's pretty impressive. And there's some caught up in there too. So, that definitely did the trick. So that was a 3/4 full can. And I was about, I'd say 20 feet away from it. And with my scatter shot BBs on the black powder rifle, they definitely do the trick. I mean, you could probably hunt with that as well. Think about game for like deer, geese, whatnot. I'm sure that'd work just fine. So yeah, anyway, I'm just going to shoot a 50 cal and a 50 cal ball, and we'll see the difference between that and the scatter shot. Alright, so I got my 50 cal ball right on there, ready to go. I'm going to push that in with my thumb, and normally I'd have my ball starter. I'm just going to try this without it, just because I'm being lazy. If I have problems, I'll go get it, but it's working. Once I get past that little problem I always have right there. Sorry, I've been shooting a lot today, so it's probably time to clean the gun. It's a little sticky, but we'll get it down. Alright, I'm just going to drift it in. Alright. So I just got it in all the way. I had to push it down a little bit more with the basically tapping the ramrod in. So I've got my percussion cap on, put it to half cock safety, and this time we're starting fresh on a new butane can here. Here, let me just zoom in so we can see it. So we're going to shoot this thing, the propane can between the door window. So, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see or not. Oh yeah, you guys will be able to see just fine. So we're going to take aim. So we killed it. Let's go see what kind of damage we did. Just lean that up against, I don't know if it's going to lean against the tripod without tipping it over. So, we might be, there, that works. Alright. I got some pieces of tin. That's not lead, that's just tin. There's the hole in. There's the hole out. So that's 50 cal. And this is 177 BB. Same grain. So, I don't know. They're both frickin' deadly. But, of course, yeah, that's going to do what it does. But this was the experiment today, was 0.117. And I was surprised they actually worked pretty good comparing to sort of what I thought it would do. Actually, I was not expecting to get any penetration whatsoever. So the fact I got through these cans with 177 BB was pretty impressive. I was not expecting that. I really thought it'd bounce off just like the 100 grain did, but once I went to 120, it was enough to punch it through. And get it through the other side too. At least most of them. I think one of them made a dent, as you can see. Didn't get all the way through. So, yeah, there you go. Alright, so what we've got first of all is the very first shot I took, which was off camera, just to see if it would work. And that was the BBs on a can of water, and it went right through that. So, yeah, we've got a graze on the bottom. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 holes going right through it, and 1 underneath. So that's 7 total that it actually made contact with the can. So that was the first shot. That was at 25 yards with 177 BBs and 100 grains of powder. Sorry, that was 80 grains of powder. That was the first shot, 80 grains. Second one, I believe, was 80 or 90 grains, and that was when we first shot this can, and we put these 3 marks on it that didn't actually cut through the can. So we bumped it up to 100 grain, almost 120, and we got these ones penetrating. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in, 1, 2, 3, 4 out, and the 5th one was just a dent. It didn't actually make it out. So we got 4 out of 5 out of, I believe it was 22 that we loaded at the time. So, that's where your BBs do make the matter, is when you got that spread shot, you have more of a chance of hitting your target. So out of 22, we got 5 hits, 4 technical kills, 1 severe wound, if you want to call it that. You can hear there's that one that got caught up, still in there. Then we go to the 50 cal, which is that big monstrous hole and big monstrous hole out. That was, once again, 120 grain. And this was a 50 cal ball. Both cans, these 2 cans, were about the same percentage full, which would be about, they're 3 pounds, so it was probably a 1/4 pound full, each one of them. And yeah, when you shot them, if you went slow-mo, you'd probably see the burst coming off it, of the propane escaping. So there you go. As far as the black powder rifled shooting BBs, I honestly have no problem with it. I think it's very effective for if you're going to take down birds and whatnot. It worked just fine. No need to go smooth bore. You can go smooth bore, but in my opinion, that does work. So, something to keep in mind. I haven't heard of anyone really shooting scatter shot out of the rifled percussion cap rifles, but I figured I'd try it. I mean, the BBs are riding within the wad. They're not actually making contact with the rifling. Unlike a shotgun through a rifled barrel might not be the best thing if you're using scatter shot, because they say you could damage rifling, but in my case, the wad is actually carrying the BBs out until it escapes the muzzle. By that point, it's opening up and spreading out, at least in theory. It doesn't seem to wreck the gun. The gun looks just fine. I'm going to now clean it, because I don't know, I put quite a few rounds through it today, and with black powder, every time you shoot it, you should clean it anyway. So, there you go. Just some basic stuff on how to, I don't know, on whether BBs work through a black powder rifled, and seems to work fine for me.